Good morning, everybody. All right, how's it going? Good morning, Drew. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Parker. It is 8:05 in the morning here, October 17th, 2018. Today's a gift. Let's make it our best. It's time to trade and put our skills to the test. Trend bias of the prior day. The S&P was bullish, NASDAQ bullish, Dow bullish, Russell bullish. Overnight, we got neutral ES, neutral NASDAQ, neutral on Dow, and neutral on the Russell. On the shorter term time frame, we do remain bearish. All four indexes, bearish ES, NASDAQ, Dow, and Russell. On the midterm time frame, bearish ES, NASDAQ, Dow, and Russell. And on the longer term time frame, we are neutral, ES, NASDAQ, bearish, neutral Dow, Russell, bearish. Before the bell at 4:30 a.m., we had Great Britain CPI and PPI input. 7 a.m. MBA mortgage applications, and 8:30 housing starts. After the bell, the petroleum status report. Echo. Does anybody else hear me echoing? Petroleum status report at 12:10. Lael Brainerd will be speaking. At 12:30, the German President Bubble Weidmann will be speaking. And at 1 p.m., MPC member Broadbent will be speaking. 2 p.m. is the FOMC minutes from the last rate hike. After the bell yesterday, guys, the big earnings that came out was Netflix. They crushed it, so that thing ripped. Something just to look at. Other than that, before or after the bell, after the bell tonight, we're gonna have AA, CCI, and KMI. And then before the bell tomorrow, there's a couple of names there: TRV, PPG, DHR, PM, BK, BBT. For our previous day's summary for the S&P 500, let me load it up here. Cool, thank you for the confirmation, guys. Thought I was fine, so I asked. Make sure we're all on the same page. Alrighty, here we are. Trend, previous day's summary. Bell to bell high. What a ripper yesterday was. 28.16 quarter. Bell to bell low, 27.68 half. Right at the open, just a rip. The settlement was 28.17.75. So, funny thing is, on what was it? Monday, the close or the settlement was below the bell to bell low, and then yesterday the settlement was above the bell to bell high because we continued to run past the bell before we actually settled at 4:15. Value area high, 28.11 quarter. Just below that. Value area low, 27.78. The point of control, 28.12.75. European close, 27.73. I'm sorry, 27.93 half. 27.93 half. And then the volume on the session was 1,711,000 contracts. Pretty heavy. Overnight high in the S&P, 28.24 quarter. We'll be looking for the market. Market will really need to get bid above that if we're going to continue. Overnight low recently put in down at 28.04. Floor trader pivot point support and resistance levels. R4A 29.13 quarter, R3 28.81, R2 28.48 half, R1 2833 quarter. The pivot point is 2800.75. S1 2785 half. S2 2753, S3 2737.75, and S4A down at 2722 quarter. For our 10-day range analysis yesterday, we had a previous day, the range was 47.75 point range. Now, the funny thing is that seems so big, but over the last 10 days, our maximum, which was on that initial down move day, was 90 points, which is, basically another 43 points from where we moved. So it was almost double on that maximum. So to think about that, yesterday was huge to the upside, but when we moved down, that move down was so big, it pales in comparison. The entire session was 73.5. Our median's been 40. The maximum's 119. Overnight 29. Which was well above the median. The first hour was 14.75. Index strength percentage change, guys. These are the biggest moves we've seen in quite some time. NASDAQ with the lead. And I mentioned this, guys, yesterday in the morning trade plan video. I talked about how I thought the NASDAQ, because it was the one holding the halfway back, was going to be the best performer on a breakout. My golly, up 3.9%. on the prior day. Pretty insane. Dow was the weakest, only up 2.3%. Russell came in second place. So basically the two weakest markets to the downside were the two strongest over the last 5 days now. The Nasdaq's only down 0.6%, and the Dow is down the most. Over a 10-day period, the Nasdaq, though, is still the weakest market. Just something to keep in mind. Year to date, we're still up going into, it's been a pretty volatile year, but we're pretty average returns. Russell's up 4%, the Dow's up 4.3%, Nasdaq's up 13%, ES is up 5%, but if you look at that compared to last year, just something to start thinking about. Dow is up 25%. We are in October, we have basically, 2.5 months left of the year ends, we're only up 4%. NASDAQ was up 31% last year. We're up 13%, still doing really well. And then the S&P was up, basically 19.5%, 20%. We're up 1/4 of that this year. So, market's still doing, we're probably going to close this year out well. Something to start thinking about is we're coming into the year end, guys. It's time to do the best you possibly can. Let's take a look then at some of these markets. I'll start with the S&P 500. There's a lot on the table right now. There's a lot on the table. So first thing I'm going to do, the full halfway back short from highs. That is from September high to low. Guys, that's going to be coming into play here at 28.29.5. So that is the full halfway back short that we want to be aware of. Okay, that very well could come into play today. Opposing that is this extension, which has traded first. Now, yesterday, I'm going to get rid of the extended session here real quick. We talked about the halfway back from basically, I'm going to get rid of these drawings too. Probably not going to retest these for a little bit at least. The low of last Thursday to what was the Friday high held its halfway back, and that's what we were talking about yesterday. I was talking about the possibility of that completing 27.95. Now, we completed that and went straight up. We actually completed that negative 61, but that high to high is going to be our extension, and that's right about where we are in. For the long sequence to continue as aggressive as it has, I think we need to really stay above this 27.98. If we lose 27.98 here, guys, it's either going to be a consolidation or a drop. I would totally rule out new highs in the day. As long as we hold these levels and get bid on the open, We do have targets up at 28.34.75 or 28.34.75. Now 28.29, 28.30, as I mentioned, is that full halfway back. We very well could dip into it, like just rock into it. We could rally, because if you look at that 61.8, okay, which is from that all-time high to low, that does not come into play till 28.57. So there's a possibility we rally through 28.29 into the completion of the extension and even further and still hold it short. So we'll watch and be aware of this 28.29 half, but I just don't see this market stopping on a dime there as of right now. Something we can absolutely be aware of, but I would think we get above it and then come back down below it. So that'll be something we will be looking for and we will be aware of. Okay, so that'll be something we'll be looking for and we'll be aware of. Now, gold, I don't know if anybody got a chance to take this trade, but this is something I had highlighted over the last 2 days. Okay, this, green little box here. We basically went right to it, to the tick, the top side, and got a bid. There's nothing else I want to do here. That trade is over. We tagged it, we ripped. I'm observing, that's it. Get back down to 12.19 or that area, I'd possibly consider a second test, but there's no continuation trade for me right now in gold up at these levels, because we're really right back at resistance. But we did get a nice 7-point rally so far off that level. I don't have much else to say about this market. For the Dow, we're going to go out to the daily chart just to remind you guys this full halfway back for the year, down at 25,027. Nice clean move. Now the all-time high to the low, the halfway back short, is at 25,929. 25,929. Okay, so that is something we want to be aware of. That could most definitely come into play. Let's see here. As far as the sequence in the Dow goes, I have to break it down. Low to high, high to high, high to high. I would say this would be the extension I would trust. 25,480 to high, and that targets exactly at the full halfway back short. The target's exactly at the full halfway back short. We are now getting some bids. Okay, so that's what I'll watch. If we break that, throw it out. The Nasdaq should be the most aggressive bid here. I do have some higher time frame support levels. The full halfway back short, guys, we've basically already cleared. That was 73.22. I have it marked up with the line across my chart, but you can see we're actually bid above that level right now. There is going to be a higher time frame extension that is possible later on in the future from this swing high. We will watch for that. That will be a fantastic trade when it does come in, but there's so much momentum to the upside right now, it's not even in consideration. We need to identify the other sequence. The last extension to trade on the prior day was from a 72.39 anchor, and that completed negative 61s in the overnight. That 38% retracement actually level. Okay, and then last but not least, for the futures markets that I'll be reviewing here this morning would be oil. As I mentioned earlier, oil inventory report here today. I'm still looking at 72.95. I don't know if it's going to trade. 72.95, and then support levels I have below are 69.98 and 69.54. I like 69.54 better, so I'm actually just going to get rid of 60, this one right here. This would be what would be the profit target had we traded into that, and I sometimes like how that lines up. So this 69.54 to 69.46. If we do get down there at that point in time, I would think that we'd be a little overdone and looking for a move back to the top side. So that's what I have here for my 6 futures markets I review every morning. I will share these levels with the people in the Major League Trading Discord for now, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at some currencies because we got some time here. Just want to point out only really if I like it. I know I have all of these. Ooh, that's a breakdown there in Great Britain Pound USD. We're going to have a second test at 130.89 of this major halfway back along of the Great Britain Pound USD. That is from the lows of, I think it's, what's that date there? That's the 4th of October to high. 130.89, I'm going to be watching that. Basically, big breakdown from the top of that range. From the top of that range is a big breakdown. Euro USD, I think we basically came full halfway back in a front run. Level was 116.23, and then yesterday we traded 116.19, which is a 4-tick front run. Not really anything I want to do here, though. I'm just observing. Don't really like it. USD CHF. Okay, this USD CAD, I like the way this is setting up more than anything I've looked at here so far. So the low of the beginning of October to high, and look at the way this CAD is getting bid right now. The way this CAD is getting bid is nice and aggressive. We had that halfway back long on Tuesday, right? So yesterday we actually talked about this. I think it was, yeah, we did talk about this yesterday. I marked up this support. I didn't even drop this halfway back long, but then in the overnight session we did catch a halfway back bid. I'm going to be looking at the 129.61 to high. That will literally be the only trade I'm considering right now in the USD Canadian dollar. All right. So I'll continue to watch that. I'll let you guys know in the room when that sets up. But right now, that's going to wrap it up for my morning trade plan. I'll leave it to you guys if you guys have any other comments or things you want me to clarify. Okay. For Jackson, for what? Nadex, for the Combine. Always trade the most liquid market for the Combine. Let's see. Amanda, that is not a MACD indicator. That is the MLT pinch indicator. It's a custom indicator I created. It can be found on the website. It is not a MACD indicator. Yeah, I will have to double check, Jackson. I haven't seen that, but there should be a notification at the top side of your window if that is the case. Let me see if I can actually pull up mine. I have CLX8 up, and I believe that is the highest volume oil contract right now. If anything, I would hit them up with a support ticket, just to be clear. Infinite Solutions, thank you. Welcome, man. Welcome. All right, guys. Thank you for watching the MLT Morning Trade Plan. If you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you're serious about learning to trade and would like to be taught by me, you can check out our Nadex Master Course. And remember, guys, like every day, pursue with passion, remove self-doubt, and succeed with effort. Everybody take care. For those of you guys in the trade room, I'll drop the link in the trade plan library as well as my morning trade plan levels. Take care.